Yo, smoking section here with Mr. They Don't Sleep. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, how are you?
Doing good, man. So, Mr. They Don't Sleep. They Don't Sleep. You can find him on Twitter. Dude, the man is crazy. He makes the best custom, like, it's just hard to explain. I mean, just look at everything that he's got here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude.
Yeah, the first light up ashtray.
I love it, dude. With the skull head.
Yeah.
So, dude, let everybody know who you are, like where you come from, kind of your origin story.
I go by They Don't Sleep. I don't know. I just get called that. I'm from Oxnard, born and raised. So I would say when I was probably 15 or 6, or no, like 14 or 15, had painted a shirt, like a t-shirt, just to wear. Had a plain white AAA tee.
Yeah.
Had stencils, letters, had the whole alphabet, spelled a couple things, and then started painting shirts.
Yeah.
And that's what I did in high school. I used to paint clothes. And then as I got older, I got into graffiti, but I'd still paint clothes, but also do graffiti. And in 2012, I started a business with painting and shoes. So that was it was a pretty good business. I met a lot of people, met a lot of somewhat celebrities or, rappers and whatnot through it. And then when I kind of got tired of people asking me to like clean their shoes or like,
Yeah.
like, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Like, it just got annoying, and that's not what I wanted to do. So I quit that business, and then I went back to school, finished, and got my license. Once I got my license, I bought a sewing machine and started sewing. And then from there, it just grew into a lot of other things. I first started with a shoe. It was actually a Cortez, like this one. Cut up a Louis bag, sewed it on, and that's like, this was of September of 2017. And yeah, I just started off with something like that. And then I was just addicted to like, wow, I could really, like, when I paint something, it's gonna rub off, it's, it's not gonna be there for a while. When you sew something,
It's there.
it's there.
Yeah.
It's quality, And then it just turned into like lighters, I sew these by hand cut, hand stitched.
Stitching along the back, dude,
Yeah.
it's super tight stitching. Like you would honestly think like when you feel it that's what it is, but the lighter comes out. So.
Yeah. A lot of people ask if it's reusable. Like, yeah, you buy a new one and you put it in.
That's
like,
sick as fuck, dude.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of lighters out there. When's the last time you seen a Louis one? Yeah. Or like, let's say if someone's if you're having a cigarette or if you need a lighter, you ask someone, hey, do you have a lighter? Hand them that. Just you're gonna surprise them. Like they're not gonna expect this type of lighter.
I wouldn't.
If you ask for a lighter and I handed that to you, like it's a conversation piece. That's another thing. I would consider my work conversation pieces or like art.
I think the really cool thing is that it's so unique. Like, you know what I mean? And it's very, some of this shit's really clever ideas. This is very like abstract looking, but it's so sick, dude. I love it. Like, you know what I mean? And things.
Yeah,
things
it's all original and it's vintage. This Louis, from all these, even this one, is from 1995. So when I look at vintage bags, I can read the code and literally find out what year it was from, which factory it was at. Like, there's a lot of ways now, or there's a lot of ways to tell.
Yeah.
Like, and looking at fake stuff, I could tell.
Yeah, I've just seen some fake shit.
And cutting them up for so long, you know what it cuts like. You know if it stretches or you just know. And yeah, it's all authentic. Like that lighter is from 2008 from Takashi Murakami. He recently was in KORPSxCon, you know, doing those flowers, those cartoons. He also did that with Louis Vuitton. He collabed with them in 2008, even 03. And then, yeah, that's the same artist. So that bag that I cut up was priced around $10,000. Cut it up, and now I could sell a fraction of that bag for $300-400, you know?
Yeah.
And you just got, it's just a numbers game, you know, it's math. You know, will I make money off of it? Yeah, you will, you know? Same with these bags, like this one, for example. This is 90s MCM, when MCM was made in Germany. Now it's Korean owned, and its style is different, but that's MCM from the 90s. Like the spacing of it, the quality, the color. Yep, it's pretty. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, man. Like,
I mean, dude, it's just it's insane because I mean the fact that it's reusable, is definitely a big time seller for me on this one.
Yeah,
but you know what's like, so you got this now, so from what, like, so from honestly what I know, cause I've been following you, man, and you know homies, you know what I'm saying. The thing is like you're manifesting and continuing the push. Like, what do you think's phase 3? Like, you know what I mean? Because it sounds like right now you're on phase 2 because you had the business before, now you're on this one, and you're kind of fucking around in this.
To be honest, it was always shoes, but now doing like this ashtray, it's a one of one. What inspired this was a Versace scarf. Have you seen the scarves that are blue with gold? You know,
blue and the gold,
yeah, that gold leaf. Like, I kind of replicated it, you know, and like with the lighting, you just see like, you know, and it's one of one. It's all handmade, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, a machine could, but, you know, it's all one of one, like, you know, these little trays. Like, there will never be another one with the same spacing, the same cutouts. There's red glitter in it as well, you know what I mean? Like, everything's one of one. And it's a good conversation piece because if someone asked, oh, what, is that an ashtray? Like, where'd you get that? Like, oh, my friend made it. Like, he gets these, you know, you have so much to say, because also I let my customers know that it's real. I show them proof, and then I tell them more about it. And I kind of get to know my customers too when I meet them in person. I don't use any hashtags. I don't promote my stuff. It's strictly word of mouth, because I'd rather have someone genuinely, you know, promoting my work instead of an ad on Instagram, you know? Like, I'd rather you see it and then you ask about it, and then you go see it, you know? Instead of me just pushing it, flooding it in your timeline, because now Instagram's kind of weird, you know? Like, I've noticed the stuff that I see, and there's ads, there's a reason why those ads are there, you know? Like, Instagram wasn't what it used to be. So you got to be smart with using social media now, you know? And, like, I could use hashtags to get more word out, but no, I don't. I still don't want to do that, you know. It's just the idea of stumbling upon it instead of
the uniqueness.
Yeah, like I don't tell people to post my stuff. Like, when rappers post it, I don't ask.
See, and I was about to say that. Yeah. And you've still been amongst people who are, you would say, high-end clientele.
Yeah, like, I do have some high-end clientele. Fetty Wap being one of them. He even, like, he put me in. He didn't put me. He put my work in the music video.
Oh,
you know,
snap.
Yeah, he has a blunt tip, and yeah, it's a Gucci with a Gucci tip, and yeah, as soon as I gave it to him, you know, sparked the blunt, and then these cameramen were there. Like, all right, let's start recording. I'm like, okay, I guess he's shooting a music video, you know? That's what's up.
So you just rolled up, sold him this blunt tip, and he shot a video right there.
Yeah. And there's videos on my phone that I can't really post just because, like, there's music on there that hasn't been released, or like I wouldn't, you know, there's
you can't be posting
yeah,
that.
you can't be posting that because it's funny. Recently I was in the studio with J-Rock, and that was the same night he got his Grammy. So the video of him unboxing his Grammy, I was there moments later. So like the Grammy was sitting right there on the soundboard, you know, and I looked in my bag, and I'm like, oh, I have a black and gold ashtray that literally matches the Grammy. So I'm there with one of my good friends. He's a producer, and he knows him pretty well. And he's just like, hey man, this is Andrew. You know, he came and, you know, he made you something. It's my boy. He's like, all right, cool. Shook his hand, you know, sees the ashtray, and it's like, thanks, you know, like how it's a gift, you know, like you can't really. It's hard to. It's funny to get people's reactions too, because like it's not like it's unexpected because they don't know who I am yet. But once you break that barrier, they see who I am. You know, I'm just, you know, just here. I'm just chilling, and they realize, oh yeah, you're the guy who makes that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah, that's him. Or, you know,
because I mean, for them to all be, you know, millionaires and can be wherever they want, like they definitely still do have their friends in the music game, so they definitely talk about stuff. And that's crazy.
And like, there's people who will pay a lot of money to be in that room, you know. Yeah. Like, I bet there, you know, depending who it is, there's people, super fans, you know, or whoever. There's people who'd pay a lot of money to be in the position that I'm in sometimes, and it's like, what am I gonna do with it? You know, am I just gonna? I'm there for a reason, you know. I'm there to promote my stuff, and like, you know, every opportunity I never said no to. You know, whenever someone asked if I could make a baseball, in my head I'm like, I guess, you know, like I have no idea, tight. But I told them, yeah, I could make a baseball. Yeah. Why? Because I wasn't trying to close that door of that opportunity. Yeah. Because I already knew all I had to do was go on YouTube and search how to sew a baseball. Yeah. Did it, made it, and, you know, that's that. And because I did that, he has so many other friends and clients that want work from me. And it's not baseballs, it's just, you know, the stuff I do. You know, just because I took that risk, it ended up being a good one, you know. Everything's a gamble, you know. You take a chance on something, like, you know, entrepreneurs, you know, like what we all do. Like, do I choose this route to focus on this business or not? Like, do I stay at my 9 to 5, or should I be part-time and let me try something new? Yeah. You know, cut my hours, you know.
Dude, it's crazy because like just the whole baseball story, bro. That's like the whole that's the whole gamble. Like, you know what I mean? That's the whole risk is, you know, I don't know, but I'm about to figure it out.
Yeah,
shit,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, because even with my own stuff, man, it's all been like, well, how the hell am I gonna figure this out? You know what I mean? And boom, I use different things. You know what I mean? Yeah. YouTube. YouTube, everybody. YouTube it. If you need to know it, YouTube it. Yeah. It's the second best thing to Google.
Or just having your phone. Like, if you have any questions, or like, oh, I wonder who, anything, you know, like, who was the first person to do this, or, you know, or, I don't know, you can just look it up. Any questions you have, you type it in, and there's an answer. I didn't have that growing up, you know, like, I couldn't pull out a phone out of my pocket, type a question, and I have the answer, you know? Like, I would have to sit at a desktop. You know, YouTube before, I saw it on a desktop, you know? Like, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Technology's changing, but at the same time, we just got to adapt to it and take advantage while we can.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and it's crazy right now because Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you know what I mean? They're all here. You know, they're the Power Four. they all have ads on them. You know what I mean? And so now you're going to have a new wave of social media, just like how it was with MySpace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then these will die off.
Yeah.
I think just Facebook is just going to be around, but there'll be a new one that people are going to hop on.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So, like, right now, I think just people need to take advantage of what is right now. Stay on whatever social platform that there is, because that's how you and your business can stay relevant.
Yeah. Just never stop. And the best part of They Don't Sleep is like, another meaning behind it is like, you never stop. You never stop creating. You know? And the story about the game was this producer, his name's Bongo. Bongo, by the way, he produces for TheyDontSleep, Jeremiah, the game. Produced a lot for the game. Yeah. There's a lot of other artists too. But I'm driving in Orange County because I work with a lot of people out there, a lot of clients, a lot of shops. And I'm driving and I get a FaceTime call. And I'm like, okay. Like, I guess I'll answer it. And it's Bongo. He's like, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, oh, I'm just driving right now. And he's like, oh, my friend likes your work. He wants to say what's up. I'm like, okay. You know, like, all right. And then he passes the phone in and it's the game. Oh, like, imagine you're on FaceTime and someone hands over the phone to the game.
That's the game.
Like, he's like, what's up, man? I'm like, oh, what's up, sir? You know? And he's just like, hey, I like your work. You know, pull it to the studio. You know, I want to see it. So, boom, that happened. I'm like, all right, for sure. Cool. Hang up the conversation. Craziest drive home I ever had in my life. You know, like, what do you say to that?
I've probably been hyperventilating.
Yeah, like, you don't, you know? And here I am casually just talking to him, you know? Yeah. And from there, brainstormed what I was going to make, got his sizes, and made it, you know? I made one, like, a hoodie and one pair of Vans. You know, something simple, something that I was willing to sacrifice. Like, it's not going to be a hard loss if I don't sell this. Yeah. You know? Like, it's not going to be... I'd rather, you know, I don't care about money sometimes. What I care more is about the time. Like, I don't want to lose time. I'd rather lose money than time. Yeah. So that's what that opportunity, I took it. Yeah. You know, instead of waiting and like, oh, I wonder what could have happened. No, I got to work.
So is it kind of like, so he didn't hit you with an order. He didn't say, hey, I want this.
No, he just said, yeah, you know, I like your stuff. Come by, you know, come visit. And from there, in my head, I'm like, I got to make him something dope. Yeah. Something that he will remember me by.
So how'd you find out his sizes?
Oh, no, I asked. You know, I asked him. Because I'm like, oh, do you like Cortez's? He's like, nah, those hurt my feet. I'm like, what about Chuck's? He's like, no, those hurt my feet too. Or, he said something. I was like, okay, well, you like Vans? Yeah, I fuck with Vans. Cool. Boom, found a pair of Vans. Cool. Hit my local outlet, spent like $30. Yeah. You know, and, you know, I used all my resources, you know, did that, sold some Louis on it. Made a lighter, you know, like that one. Yeah, with red, you know, it was a brown Louis with red. Oh. So, you know, it's the game. Yeah. You know. So then, his shoes were some skate high boots with red plaid on it, like lumberjack. Oh, okay. So it was actually a nice shoe. It was a really nice pair of Vans. Sold Louis on it, and then I think I had a pack of exotic backwoods. I was like, here's some woods, you know. And everyone's all, I go there, I'm like, oh, this is the lighter, this is this, here are your shoes. And he's like, oh wow, this is like, thank you so much. Like, he didn't expect that, you know. And he's like, dope, man, thank you, like, you know. And when I meet people when I meet artists for the first time and it's at a studio, I probably have a 5 to 10 minute window to say what I have to say before I get blocked out. Yeah. You know?
So they got to get busy.
Yeah. You know, they're at work too. And I get it. So when I went there, I was just like, all right, cool. You know, just chilling for a little bit. And then got a little video with him with the shoe. That's it. Cool. Peace. Thanks. I say bye to my homie Bongo, you know, and that's it. And I'm at work, you know, weeks go by. You know, I'm still doing it. I got to post it. You know, people were, you know, like, people saw, you know. Yeah. And here I am still doing my weekly routine because I have a day job. Yeah. And I'm at work and I get a phone call from Hawaii. Yeah, I think it was, yeah. Hawaii. It wasn't local. It was a weird area code. So I'm like, okay. And my boss was like, oh, answer it. I'm like, no, I don't answer those. So let it go to voicemail. And then boom, I get a text. Hey, what's up, man? It's the game. I really like the stuff. I got a project for you. Hit me back. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, okay. And from there, it turned out to be I did a coffee table for him. And he asked me, and here I go saying, he's like, can you make a coffee table? And I told him, yeah. But in my head, I'm like, no, I don't know what to do, you know?
You got that shit done, though.
And then I did. I made it happen. Made it in Oxnard, you know, at my dad's house. I was in South Oxnard making this coffee table. And here it is now in, you know, Calabasas in a multi-million-dollar home.
That's insane.
Yeah, and it's crazy to see that something from here is for sure over there. Like, it's not like... And also the thing is, when I dropped it off, he's like, you know, we carried it. And then he's like, hey, man, put it right here. I'm like, okay, cool. Put it down. We're adjusting it because he plays a lot of video games. He's like the #1 Madden player or 2K player. Like, he's ranked in the top 10 for sure. Yeah. And he plays a lot. So we're in his game room where he's playing. So we put the coffee table down. And he's like, all right, man, thanks. I'm like, oh, no problem. You know, had the wire transfer. It was a good check. But it was a good check. And he's like, all right, man, thanks. Puts his headphones on. He starts playing 2K. Starts playing video games. And then, but the thing was, he put the TV and his Xbox on the coffee table.
Oh shit!
So that wasn't of a coffee table. That is like his table. He's gonna sit in front of every day. Like, there's snaps of him playing video games, and if you ever see a Louis Vuitton bottom, that's my coffee table that I made. There's a post on his Instagram of like the game room, and it's in there.
That's, you know, sick, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the thing and besides that, I did his pool sticks. I did air fresheners for his cars. I did stuff with his cigar company, like his cannabis line. I did stuff with them. And the crazy thing was, not that all it took, but it all stemmed from a $30, $40 pair of Vans from the outlets that I took and put my touch to it and gave it to him, and it opened the door for so many other things, you know? Like, it's just a trip to think about that. Like, let that soak in. Like, how would you feel if, like, you got something, did something to, and here it is, you send it off to a rapper, you know, you take a chance with it, and you ended up, you know, benefiting from it. Yeah. Like there's people. What I learned from it is that there's people who will not say yes, but it's like there's people who say they're gonna do it, and then there's people who just do it. Yeah. And that's basically how I see with every order that I get or every new type of custom.
Yeah. What's been your favorite piece that you think you've made?
Besides that coffee table, because it's a pretty dope story, you know, like the whole story behind it. That one's cool. The baseball, and I don't know, man. Like, there's just so many, and it's not like I only do shoes. You know, I'm gonna talk about a shoe. No, could be ashtrays, it could be lighters, it could be a dog collar. Yeah, coffee table, baseball. Let me look real quick. Hold on. And let's see. I've done fanny packs, I've done bags, shorts. One of my favorites is the Disney, it's a Disney Minnie Mouse, you know, a cap, and has the ears. Yeah. I did those ears Louis Vuitton.
Oh, that's sick.
So when, you know, she wore them to Disneyland, I'm here taking pictures, you know, getting, like, not making a scene, but I'm taking pictures so people can tell like, oh, like he's taking pictures of that. And even Disneyland workers were like, "Oh, those I like your ears," and she's like, "Oh, thanks," you know. Or people are like, "Oh shit," like you could, and you know when you stand in line at Disneyland, you're always gonna remember the person in front of you, behind you, around the way, you know, anyone near you. Yeah,
I mean,
you know,
because even when me and my girlfriend go, dude, we're always looking at stuff like, oh, that's cool, because you know you see the people who come with custom made.
Yeah, Disney's dope, man. Like, Disney's really dope.
And so you look around and you say, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then, dude, imagine to see that, like, holy smokes, like, what the hell, kid? Like, whoa.
So that's the thing. Like, it's a conversation piece, but also like that's really what it is. You know, it's like really dope conversation pieces, and it's just gonna, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's hard to say because I don't wear my stuff. I don't wear I have a few custom shoes that I made when I started to practice. Since then, I haven't. You know, I haven't made myself anything really. You know, that's not really my style, but I like to know the reaction of other people, and they say like, "Oh yeah, man, people ask me about this all the time." Or I make Apple Watches. Henry has like the first one.
Oh shit!
The very, very first one.
Henry Franklin.
Yeah, and he was even like to this day. I know it got pretty messed up because he just wore it every day. You know,
crazy.
And that was my first one. And when I made it, you know, yeah, he was the first one to be like, "Yeah, man, I'll take it, cool." And then now, man, I made a bunch of those. But it's just crazy that he still gets asked about it. Or like camera straps, when I do camera straps for photographers. Every photographer has the same camera strap. When you sew something else to it, or, you know, and let like Byron, he wears his and he puts his camera to his side. So the strap is almost like it almost looks like you have a side bag, you know? And it's more of a flex.
Yeah.
You know, there's just other things, you know, like it's crazy.
That's so crazy, dude. I mean, just it's so crazy just to see that it's Louis Vuitton and you have all this other stuff, dude, and it's like that's a lot of money. That stuff costs a lot of money.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
Like how I started was we found one at the thrift that ended up being like dirt cheap, but it was real. You know, took it, cut it up, you know, did what we did, and then there's also the hunt for it because there's ways to find vintage bags. You just gotta search the internet. You gotta or go to swap meets, go to thrift stores because you never know. And once you figure out how to spot a real and a fake, and you see this stuff at stores, it's like addicting. It's like, it's like come up, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy this. And but if I see stuff online, I'll lowball the hell out of people. You know, I don't tell them, hey, I make custom stuff. Please support me. No, you know, I say, no, there's a hole right here. This is messed up. No, like I lowball just because if I could get it for cheaper, why not?
Yeah.
You know, if gas is cheaper down the street by like $2 less, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. I mean, especially if you're gonna cut it up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, but you don't tell them that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
and like the thing is that I don't buy anything. I don't buy anything from the store. Like I don't go to Louis Vuitton and buy something brand new. Why? Because it's a few thousand, a couple grand. You know. Yeah. I'm not trying to. I don't want to charge people more for what I make. Why? Because I don't see a point to. You know, my prices are pretty decent because it's from vintage, but also people are surprised that it's cheap. Cheaper, you know, not cheap, but it's lower than the other people who make it, who use brand new bags and material. But man, it's fun because there's like I've got bags from the 70s, 80s, you know, almost every decade. But it's like, it's real. You know, it has history. Yeah. You know? It's crazy. There's just so many things.
What's next level? What do you think's next?
Oh, what's next is I'm gonna make shoes from scratch.
Shoes from scratch.
I'm gonna learn how to take this whole thing apart, sew it back up in a different material. You know, even though Nike's been doing that lately, they made velvet Cortezes pretty hard. You know, but I mean, if I take really good quality leather, quality suede, or I guess now the snakeskin, croc skin, you know, whatever, but really good leather materials, and learn how to sew it, yeah. You know, I'm that was my ultimate goal too in the beginning, was like, I want to learn how to sew shoes from scratch. I can't afford a $20,000 sewing machine.
Yeah.
And it's not just one. You need like a whole setup that's worth a lot of money. But at the same time, you're gonna pay that right back. You know, it's gonna pay itself off really quick.
Yeah, really quick.
Like that's probably the next step. But also is that I don't know. That was my initial end point, or like, you know, where I wanted to be. But during that process, I've made ashtrays, and the thing is, looking up ashtrays, designer ashtrays, it's nothing. Besides Gucci, Versace, they have ashtrays, but something like this that has real designer, it's almost like an art piece, you know? There's nothing like it. Like,
but I could use this as an ashtray.
Yes, it's a real ashtray.
I can.
Like, you know, you could ash it in the eyes and the teeth, you know, or just off the roses. You know, these are roses right here, the skull, and then this is like a little jewelry tray, or you can put your keys on here, whatever. Like, you know,
that's so sick.
Yeah, like, and the crazy thing is like, you really put anything in here. You know, I've even put tree, you know, put flower in them. I make keychains. I don't know, man. You could just do so much. And this one I put glitter. So the one you have is just plain, you know.
Oh yeah, do you see that red glitter in it?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
So it's like candy paint, you know. That's why like I mess with it more, because it's almost like candy paint.
They don't sleep. You guys need to be following them. You guys really need to be following them. Dude, what's super crazy, man, is that, like, you know, it's 8:05. You know what I mean? So I was super I was super eager to get you on the show, man. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for coming on, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys make sure to check him out on social media. I'm telling you, Twitter, they don't sleep. He's got the most fire as shit. My man.